The Jenn Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, is an inspirational hour that'll take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jenn Royster is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Imagine having the ability to use your innate positive energy to dissolve the stuckness in your life, whether it's emotional, physical, or spiritual, through this incredible dynamic show. Get ready to be transformed from Dr. Jenn's live guided healing meditations and intuitive readings, and unveil the power of connecting to spirit, the angels, and your higher self. Dr. Jenn is passionate about helping you find the answers you're looking for through an inward journey that'll strengthen your connection to spirit and help you trust your intuition. Now, here's your host, Dr. Jenn Royster.
Hello everyone, welcome to the show. I'm Dr. Jenn, and today we're going to talk about the Taurus New Moon that's coming up tomorrow, May 19th of 2023. So this one is an interesting new moon to dive into, and there's a lot of potential and opportunity here. So we're going to break this down today and what it's all about. Taurus energy has been coming in strong. You might be feeling it a little bit. I did see when I was doing some of my homework, we've had all kinds of activity with the solar flares, and they say that this is all science, and you can see that on the Space Weather Channel. But it's more, affects the electromagnetic field of Earth. And then when you look in metaphysics, sometimes if you are very sensitive to energy, you might feel that. There's nothing out there in science to prove any of that. I'm just saying that, you could swear you're feeling something, right? And it just does, that's that thing that'll affect electronics sometimes, or technology, but it's quick, they've just been having some activity with that. But the Taurus New Moon tomorrow, this is an opportunity to catch our breath and take a pause, find our center and ground. Taurus energy is all about feeling grounded, having a structured plan of action, things like that. And because we've been going through so much transformative energy and change, this is really welcoming to see this come in right now, and it's going to help you. Because it's such an earthy, grounding vibration, it's very reassuring, and it's like that sigh of, oh, I can catch my breath and shrug my shoulders and ease up some of the tension and just center myself and get regrouped here. It's really good for you to do that. It helps slow things down so you feel like you can catch up. And you're still going to make great progress. Don't get me wrong. You'll actually make better progress if you give yourself this opportunity. There's also an interesting connection to the Solar Plexus Chakra, which is our third chakra, which is right in the center, right here in the center at your solar plexus. So this one is going to feel this energy a little bit more. This is your power center. This is where you feel self-confidence or not. This is where you feel empowered or don't. This is all of that, your inner power, your inner wisdom. Do you listen to it and then you're empowered by it? All of these things are solar plexus chakra. And you can feel that when it needs activating or balancing. It can sometimes, in metaphysics, it's known to kind of, mess around with the digestive system. Sometimes you can feel it that way. Sometimes I feel that, and I know, oh, okay, time for a balancing and regrouping. We all have to do that. Maintaining your chakra balancing, those are energy centers if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about. This one in particular is focusing on that center chakra, and that's right about where you'd cross your arms. And if you do that a lot, you're probably trying to protect your energy, because that's really a main center where we receive a lot of energy from outside of ourselves. So you want that one to be healthy, but you want them all to be healthy and balanced. You don't want one bigger than the other, so to speak. So it's good to have a balance, not just only focus on one. This particular energy could be waking up that third chakra, though, that solar plexus chakra. That one's known as the yellow chakra if you're looking at a chart. So this one is about really tapping in and reconnecting with your inner power. That's how you'll get things done. That's how you'll succeed at what you want to create in your life. All that, all these awesome things. Taurus is also about security, stamina, just, do you have insecurities? If you do, you might find that that's highlighted, things like that. We also have a Jupiter and Pluto going to 0 point, and I will explain that too. So this is all some interesting stuff that we're going to dive in a little bit more. Overall, this is really good energy for manifesting, and I'll explain that as well. So affirmation that I have written for this topic today: I honor my inner wisdom and power to see me through anything and thrive. All my needs are met. Trusting that all your needs are met. That's such a relief, honestly. How do we do that? We want to know we can do that. Don't let the insecurities of the mind mess with you. That's where all that comes from. And we've been talking about that for a few weeks, about how the mind can just repetitively just torture us sometimes. Well, what we want to do is get in that space in between. That's the 0 point. That's where creation happens. So it's going to explain that a little bit, because we have a couple of planets lining up to really push that energy as well. So this is a good opportunity for manifesting and creating where you want to go. So let's take a deep breath. Take a big inhale. Feel yourself grounding. Feel present. And that's what this energy begins with. This new moon. This is a great new moon for manifesting, putting our intentions out there, a brand new cycle, you name it. So if you feel like a sigh of relief, like, okay, yeah, or you've been feeling the tension ramping up, it's a reminder like, okay, this is the energy you want to let go of. This is where you want to center and ground. So this happens tomorrow. The new moon is tomorrow, May 19. So it does hold that grounding vibration. You should already be feeling it a little bit, but tomorrow's when it peaks. And this is an opportunity to rebalance. It's to reconnect with your center, ground, just get regrouped. Just like, whoa, let me have a reboot and start over and just clear the air. That kind of thing. It's important to do that every now and then. It just gives you that moment of pause to do that. So I really like it. I've been feeling like I've needed to do that too. I'm not kidding, because there's so much energy that's been flowing through, causing such transformative change for us. And we've been experiencing quite a bit. So Taurus energy coming in behind a lot of Aries energy really helps us to ground and go, okay, whew, that was a whirlwind. Let's catch our breath and regroup and calibrate to this now and see what we can do. So let's dive in here. This is pretty good. So it's the this Taurus new moon. It's going to be the first lunar cycle since the eclipse season. Okay, this is the first one since the eclipse, because with a new lunar cycle, all of that chaotic energy that the eclipses were doing, and that's going to start to fade. That eclipse season was intense. So eclipses, they bring change, awakening, all the shift, all the change. And now, after that, we have this opportunity to look at it a little bit differently. If you look back when the eclipses started in April, around April 19th, and how you feel about things today, you might notice some areas where you feel different about stuff. You have a different perspective now. That's how you're going to know you've worked through and grown. Okay? If you don't, then you don't. But if you had something significant, that would be the eclipse maybe had brought something through for you, and you felt that shift. Eclipses bring sometimes major big leaps and bounds when you're changing. It accelerates a spiritual growth path. It accelerates it and intensifies it. So if you're finding that you feel a little bit like you're in new territory or at crossroads, or maybe the in-between limbo area where you're just not sure, these vibrations of this new moon coming in could help you ground and stabilize and balance things out, because it has been like that. So you haven't been alone with that. Everybody's been feeling it in one way or the other. So Taurus being a sign that's associated with stability and security, that's what this new moon's bringing in, just to find your ways to do that. Like, questions to ask yourself is, how could I create more security or stability in my life? What do I need to change, adjust, improve on to bring that into my life? Taurus brings up and highlights things like that for us. It could be different for everyone. But you're looking, if you pay attention, if there's any issues that crop up around that time of the new moon, this is coming from subconscious feelings, or maybe insecurities, or maybe that lack of self-worth, because this is where it wants us to tap into that third chakra, see, and bring that connection to our inner power. If you've been feeling things like issues with that, it's time to bring them up, to clear them out, and this is a great time to do it. So you're looking for that uncomfortable thing about any of those areas that might come up at this time. If they do feel that way, those are the ones that you're going to work on to heal. And you don't have to try anything. You just have to find your way of doing the grounding and balancing, and just embracing that this is an opportunity to let it go and connect to your inner power. Here's the thing I want you to hear. Your inner power never left. It's always there. We just have to sometimes reconnect to it. We can get so busy and our mind starts taking over and we're just going in all these different directions. And then we just forget to ground and stabilize and remember that, oh, we have this, we're good. This is an opportunity to do that, because it'll slow things down and pause for you. It's really worth it, honestly. So if you lean into anything that might feel like uncomfortable or something like that, this is where you can grow. Because if you feel it, you're growing. Believe it or not, you're growing. You know, that's the growing pains, I guess. So if you're leaning into that feeling and you want to know what the root of it is, or you don't even have to try to explore and figure it out, maybe you just need to go with it. Sometimes that awareness that, you know, I've been feeling like this for so many years or through my whole life. I really want to feel like I can trust who I am. Because you can, you just don't know that you can. Or maybe you don't believe that you can. So this is an opportunity to go in there and reconnect with that part of you that really is the inner power, the wisdom that you want to all the answers you seek. This is that higher self that really is the true authentic you that you want to look at. So give this an opportunity. You don't have to really try to do anything. You just have to be aware and go, yeah, I want to give that a go. I want to find out, you know, who I am. You know, I would really like to not feel so stressed about things all the time. Sometimes that's a way to go with it. So when we're not constantly rushing around trying to keep track and, you know, we're fighting or we're, you know, trying to approach and make decisions from scarcity or insecurity. See, that's completely opposite of what we want to do with law of attraction. We don't want to feel like, you know, we don't want to keep focusing there, because that just keeps recreating what we don't want. So you don't even have to worry about the thinking. You just want to go to this in between. I'm going to explain that in a moment here. Life is always moving and shifting around us. Sometimes we just have to let it move and shift, and we stay grounded. We just stay grounded and tap into that inner wisdom. Because especially when we're in places of the unknown, the inner wisdom isn't worried about all that. It's going to know what's right for you. And you want to know that you can trust that. I really am a believer in people believing in themselves, because everybody has this amazing capacity there, and sometimes we just don't believe in ourselves. And I want that for you. I really do. So let's move on to some other areas that Taurus New Moon is all about. Taurus is also about comfort and taking those wonderful things in life that are love, beauty, money, relationships, pleasure, vacation, time out, just the comforts of life. That's because it's ruled by the planet Venus, and you know, that's what that's about. It just likes that lighter vibration of finding time to have some fun, finding times to just enjoy life and the comforts of life that bring you comfort. It doesn't have to be indulgent. What makes you feel comforted? It could be something simple as just curling up with a good book on a rainy day or something. You know, it doesn't have to be expensive, indulgent, extravagant. It just needs to feel comfortable, you know? It just needs to feel comfortable. What brings you that feeling of a warm, cozy hug, you know? What is that area of your life that's just something that just brings you that comfort? What allows you to feel safe, secure, and let your guard down a little bit so you can take a break? Things like that, where you feel support around you. These are different things to ask yourself. So there's an opportunity here, and Taurus reminds us, we work hard, we work on our security, we work on our stability, but we also want to enjoy life too. We want to feel that comfort and that sense of that. So it reminds us to allow some time for that. It could be 5 minutes. It could be a few hours. Just taking that time to give yourself just a little bit is really worth it for you, and it will really restore your energy. You're able to go back into life with all the things we have to do and do them better and more productively. Honestly, it's a very rejuvenating type of energy that helps you. Simple pleasures, like I said, just whatever it is, prioritize, you know, the simple small things that you could fit into a day on a daily basis. You know, 5 minutes for a cup of tea, or, you know, just closing your eyes for 5, whatever it might be. Just enjoy those little moments that are just for you, just for you. So now let's talk about this really cool manifesting opportunity with this energy coming in. So we have Jupiter and Pluto. And Jupiter, we know, we talked about that last week. It's here for a whole year. But Pluto, they will both be at what is called 0 degrees of their zodiac sign under this new moon. So Jupiter will be in Taurus, Pluto will be in Aquarius. This is a dynamic, powerful combination of energy moving through that will be heightened by new moon energies. For example, what does 0 mean? 0 is considered a very important point, the 0 point state. This is a state of neutrality. So it's not dark, it's not light, it's not positive, it's not negative. It's neutral. It's like that space we've been talking about. You have a thought, you have a blank space, you have another thought. What's the space in between? That's a 0 point. That's a 0 point. That's where manifesting and creation happen. In the in-between, in the 0 point, that's the neutrality, because nothing is going to cancel one out or the other. This is where creation occurs. So when we've got this opportunity lined up with this new moon, so we have all this energy for that. And this unlocks this powerful combination of energy that you can use to manifest. You can use it to create a new vision for your life. You can use it to put that intention out there and work with this. It's just coming straight in, and it wants to work with that solar plexus, okay? So here we go with that solar plexus again, and that confidence, that self-confidence, that self-inner power. You want to charge up your feeling. You want to feel like you have, what is that inspiration that gives me purpose? You know, like, where's your inner strength? So this is where it's going to come through. So it's going to wake up that part of you. You might find that something that you really have been wanting to do for a long time, then you felt discouraged. You might find that you can find a new sense or a spark of inspiration to pick that back up and keep going and just find your way back through it. Don't have to try to figure it out. Just allow it to show you. That's a good way to keep the mind from trying to control the direction of any of this going, because the universe has a bigger picture here that we want to be able to see. So if you brought your awareness to your solar plexus, your third chakra, which is right here at your diaphragm area, And you just sit there and you focus with that 0 point. If you think about it, that's right in the middle. It's right in the middle. It's kind of a 0 center point in your body. Below that third chakra are the physical chakras. And then above it are the spiritual chakras. So that's a 0. That's like a center point. That's right, not your diaphragm. I'm sorry. It's more at where your navel is, like your belly button. So it's right in there. So it grows yellow when it's, it's like it has a bright yellow color, like I told you, but it's right here, like in the center, right in the middle. So it's kind of in between, right there at the solar plexus. And if you were to work and focus with that, and you just like pull your focus there and bring your energy there, and just visualize a bright, beautiful yellow light, kind of like a beautiful sunflower or bright sun, you can power up and open and clear and tap in. This is where you figure it out. If there's a resistance, why is that? You may not need to figure out why, but you want to let it go. Sometimes we've given our power away. We've, disempowered because we've let somebody else do it. Or maybe we just grew up in a situation, or we've been in a situation where we just didn't have it. Well, this is an opportunity to find it. Find your inner power, your inner wisdom. You want to listen to that. You really do. Charging up the solar plexus will really help boost feelings of motivation. You'll feel motivated to do something instead of afraid you'll do it wrong. This is an area where procrastination can happen too, or perfectionism, or I don't want to do it, I don't want to get picked at because I didn't do it right. That's that self-confidence area. So you really want to feel grounded in yourself. This is really a great opportunity to just be you and be comfortable with who you are. So just know that that's there for you, okay? Just know that's there. Now, another one that I discovered while I was doing some homework on this is, with this Taurus New Moon, there is a goddess of fertility. This is Haumea, and this one it's active under this new moon. And who is that? That's a Hawaiian fertility goddess, and I may not be saying that correct. That's Haumea, maybe. It's active too. This is kind of in a T-squared Jupiter, Mars, Pluto thing, and this one also enhances the creative 0 point energies. But it can also feel, if you're feeling the tension of something, this is going to remind us that you might need some movement. Maybe you've been feeling burned out, overwhelmed, things like that. This area, one of the best ways to move through to enhance creativity, because the fertility doesn't just mean having babies, it means it can help that, apparently. I don't know a lot about that one, but but this is more about creative energies for whatever you're trying to do, for manifesting, for creating in the 0 point. Okay, so this one is more about allowing a brand new spark of something brand new to be created. So I can see why it's called fertility, because I mean, that's really, we associate that a lot with that. But overall, this energy, I think it's great. We have a chance to center. We have a chance to ground. We have a chance to stabilize our vibrations. We have transformative energies that really center and bring us to that 0 point where we can benefit the most. So this is where you want to work with that solar plexus chakra. You want to allow that energy in and just go with it. So I'm really, really digging that. So I just want to say hello and welcome to everyone that has joined us today. This one won't be very long, because that's the energy. I want you to be able to go and bask in it. I want to say hello to Mishasha757. Hello and happy Thursday to you. Good to see you. We have so many people busy right now with graduations and school events and children getting out of school. So I just want everyone to know, last week last week, we had so many just listen after in archives. So, because we know you're on a busy schedule, so we always have that archive out there. But this energy is for you. This energy gives you opportunity to tap in, enjoy life, and see where it's going to take you, and trust who you really are. If you've been feeling any of those insecurities at all, if you've been feeling any of that, I don't know. This is where I asked the angels about some insights for this. The angels came through. Michael comes through because he always comes through when it comes to self-confidence and empowerment, because he is such a go-to angel for that. He reminds me constantly to don't forget about your guardian angels. They are there for you, and they can help us so much. They help us. They're with us. They're always there. But we also have our guides, you know, whoever is around you. You may have loved ones that are crossed over that are, sometimes you might find an insight, or you'll have a dream and they'll bring you some information. But the angels in particular, on this one, they said, you want to trust your inner wisdom. You want to work with that. If you're feeling any procrastination, any hesitation, something you really want to work on, you want to find a route, you want to ground and center, you want to get out of your own head with the overthinking and overanalyzing, and just go to that space that's called the 0 point, or the in-between space we've been talking about. The in-between the thought space, the in-between the words, the in-between. What's in the in-between? The mind goes, where? What? Because there's nothing there. That's where you want to be, to sometimes just hear that quiet voice within. Because when we can quiet that mind down, which is a way to do that, going to that in-between place, we can hear our soul speak. We can hear the inner wisdom come through. We just go about our day. You don't even have to sit and try hard. You don't have to keep reminding yourself. You just need to have that intention there, a few seconds here, and then go with it. And go do your day. Don't forget about the grounding. Take that 5 minutes, that 10 minutes, that hour, whatever time you got. But if you could put a little bit of time in daily, that would give you a moment of just regrouping. It would be so beneficial. Sometimes we just feel like we don't have 5 minutes to ourselves with everything we got going on. And we're spinning, and we keep spinning, and we go, go, go. I really encourage you to try to find the 5 minutes. You know, sometimes you have to find the 5 minutes. Then maybe you could readjust the schedule. Oh, I found 15 whole minutes today. That was amazing, you know. Or, you know, hey, I got a whole half hour to myself. You got to start somewhere. Just give it some intention and do it. And I want everybody to know that's how you do it. So I do too. So Miss Sasha, she's saying Miss Sasha. I think he's saying Miss Sasha. Miss Sasha. I don't know. I like it. I like your handle. You love this energy. I do too. Taurus works with somebody that is analytical, because Taurus is grounded, has a structure, has a plan of action, is organized, wants things to be stable and secure, but then also helps us to tap in where we can work with that spiritual side that we may not know and feel confident. So sometimes when we're very analytical, or we're perfectionist, or we're hesitant to try something, or procrastinating, this energy can help us feel confident enough to give it a go. So I've been working with that energy in a perspective that I think might be a great idea. You might want to try, anybody that feels that way out there. I've been working with it I love learning new things. I love it. I grew up like a why baby. I needed to know why about everything. I love knowing how things work, and to the point where, sometimes the why can get you tripped up, to where, like, especially with spiritual things, it's like the why, at one point you have to just go with it if you believe in it or not. And so I started working with this. Like, if I'm learning something brand new, I just go all in. And it's like, of course you're not going to do it perfect on the first time, But then it's like, don't let that discourage you. Just go in and keep going and going. And I've found that I can find ways to make it work with me, with the idea and the plan of action that I'm trying to create, whether it's art or in the kitchen, because I do a lot of, I like to work in, with meals and stuff. I like to do the homemade breads. I grind my own flour. I've said that before. Well, I make my own pasta. I grind that berry too for the seminola. Yeah, I grind all this stuff, but I love it. I love making those things fresh. Well, when you first do that, and especially if you're trying to roll these things by hand, you know, you're like, whoa. Oh, then you get like a pasta machine or something, and you got to work with that machine and how it thinks. So what I was sharing that for is because when I go to learn how to use something new or try something different, how can I make this work with the plan that I have in my head, or how can I work with it in collaboration? Sometimes I'm adjusting, sometimes it's adjusting, or I find, oh, okay, that's how you think, this is how I think, let's make that work together. Whether it's a machine or just an idea in a painting that I'm doing, or artwork, you know, because I love to do paint and artwork, but I'm just constantly creating. I do that with gardening. Gardening keeps me going, and I never get bored with that, because plants, I'm telling you, they have their own personalities. I could swear they have personalities. Nature is like that. You know, gardening, you're constantly feeling a challenge of, what do you need from me, how I can help you grow, and things like that. So I'm always learning something with that too. So I tell you these things because there's so much potential here. But with solar plexus, you can feel confident to try them. You may not have a clue what you're doing, but get out there and go for it and try it. And that part of you, that inner wisdom, if you're enjoying it, then you're on the right path. If you are it's not your thing, that'll give you a clue right there. I'm not talking about those uncomfortable feelings of resistance. I'm talking about when time flies, you're in 5D. You're in that high frequency vibration of joy. It doesn't matter what that is. That's what you're looking for. Whatever brings that to you. So, let's see. The overanalyzing. Oh, yeah, Sasha, yeah, you're saying the overanalyzing. Yeah, but you know what? This is good energy for you, and you know it is. You know. So I know you do. And Aunt Karen, hello, hello. Have a wonderful day. Yes, catching up on the replay as my phone battery dies. Uh-oh. So many birds and animals in the yard. Today I drained the battery taking pictures. That's a lot of pictures. You took a lot of pictures. That's beautiful, though. You were enjoying. Batteries can get recharged. That's awesome. I love that. I love that. You took so many. Oh, that's beautiful. Let's see. Sasha, I now realize this energy may be playing out at work with a new leader in place. I hope the upcoming changes are good ones. Interesting. Well, yes. Sometimes what is good for us, we weren't expecting. It comes like as a surprise. So I would say be open to, it's kind of like letting the universe do what it's so good at, you know? And you will be where you need to be, in whatever relationship that may be with that. So that's interesting. Sometimes, yeah, that at work, sometimes when we have a new boss or a new leader coming in, it can feel weird, like, oh, what's that going to be like? Or, you know, you have a neighbor move in or out, something changes in your comfort zone. You know, we don't like to change so much. Yeah, Taurus this is going to be good energy for that solar plexus. You just want to feel that energy where you can trust. So if you are in your inner wisdom and you're in your state of empowerment, it won't matter what changes happen anywhere. If you think about it, they won't matter. None of it matters because it's the way it's going to be best lined up for you. So when we take the details out, when we're working with the law of attraction, you take the details out and you're going for the high frequency joy or the peacefulness, or yeah, this is like the perfect alignment for me kind of a thing. And let the universe bring the details part in. And sometimes if you were to look at that as like nice little surprises you weren't expecting, instead of the mind tries to control all of that. Like, I want it to come in like this, or I want it to come in like that, and I want it to be real specific, or I want it to be blah, blah, blah. And that's so, I've just really come to learn and realize for myself personally that really limits the potential. It limits it, you know. Sometimes we're trying to have our income come in a certain way, and it might surprise you and come in a completely different way, or it might come in like, well, I never thought of it that way. So when we allow ourselves to go to the inner wisdom and connect with that inner power, with our true authentic self, like I'm talking about, and we get that mind out of the way. So whenever the mind pops up and starts fretting about anything, just say, nope, nope, go into the blank space, going over there, and it'll go, what? Yep, just keep throwing it back into the blank space. And that sounds kind of weird, like, go blank. Yeah, but it does. It helps you stay more connected with the higher part of you, and making those choices that are going to be good for you in the long run. You might not even know why for a year or two. Sometimes those things are that far out because the universe is lining things up for you. So I would say just go with it. It's like go with the flow, literally. But this is good energy. This is good energy to find your grounding, find your space, find your middle ground, find who you are, reconnect with that inner power if you've lost it. If there's insecurities anywhere, they'll pop up as an uncomfortable. Remember that. And just find your way back to that, because this energy will make it a lot easier. So I'm looking forward to this new moon. I already am. I'm already feeling it that way. And just enjoy the day. You know, just enjoy the day. You may find that you'll have some little unexpected things happen here and there. And it's our mind that can go, oh no, now what? As soon as there's something that happens like that, just practice it. Trust me. Well, you don't have to trust me, but you know, I've been doing this and it's really awesome. It really takes a lot of the tension out of things. So when something comes up that just starts to fret, you know, or, well, what if that, or, you know, all of that, just go, because the mind does it too. Just go, yeah, I'm going to go to that blank space. I'm just going to go, no, I want to go to my inner wisdom. And it can help, like sometimes I just take my hands and I go right to my solar plexus and put them there. It helps me to refocus there. It's like, nope, going back to my center, going back to where my inner wisdom is, where I know what's going to be best. And then you find your peace through the answers that you receive there. It's not going to come from outside of you. It's going to come from right there. Angels help us, support us in doing that. Angels bring in an incredible support, and they're really enthusiastic about helping us remember that we have all of this potential that's within us. We just don't trust it, or maybe we've just lost our self-confidence, whatever it might be. But Archangel Michael always comes through when it comes to something like this, and he's like, no, you can give them to him and he can carry them away. That's another way to take them to the blank space. Like, Michael, I don't want to fret about this. I'm going to hand that over to you. And you can hand thoughts over if that helps. You know, if that's a way for you to connect to what I'm talking about. Whether it's, you know, because all of this is connected as one. That 0 point, that neutrality point, this is where everything happens. This is where brand new everything can come from. So that's what I've been trying to share with you, because it will really change the whole dynamic for you. And these energies that keep coming in, and we've been watching this and how it's happening, it amazes me, because you can see some crazy stuff going on out there, And then we have this. You won't hear about all of this as much because, that doesn't, yeah, you know what all that's about. But this is why I like to bring this, because there's so much good and so much amazing support out there. We just have to remember it's there and tap into it. So, with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed this show. I'm going to let you go. We've pretty much talked it out, but I want you to know that this energy is here to help you. It's here to help you really connect to that strength, that power that you can get things accomplished. You can manifest. You can turn something that just felt like it was stagnant into something amazing. This is the way to do it. So if you need to re-listen, then re-listen. But there's a 0 point opportunity here with Jupiter and Pluto lining up. Taurus brings in this grounding, centering. It is a good new moon to put some potential out there, to ground, align, stabilize, find your center, and put some intention out there, and find some motivation or inspiration to start something you've been wanting to do. I love it. But it also gives us that chance to slow down and enjoy life. So there's just so much good things here. I love each and every one of you, and I hope you all find your inspiration. I hope you find your center. I hope you take this opportunity to know this is just going to make you feel amazing in your own self. I love every one of you. So thanks, guys, and I will see you next time here on the Jenn Royster Show. Namaste.
You've been listening to the Jenn Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life. Dr. Jenn Royster is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Imagine having the ability to use your innate positive energy to dissolve the stuckness in your life, whether it's emotional, physical, or spiritual, through this incredible dynamic show. If you've missed any part of this show or any other show, visit www.jenroyster.com.